ABC Action News is streaming breaking news.
And that breaking news is happening right now in Hillsborough County. A deputy shooting someone at the River Point Apartments on Hidden River Drive. Sheriff Chad Chronister releasing new information as we speak. Let's listen in live.
We had to have additional conversation with the mother. At about 12:40, about 9:40 a.m., the sheriff's office received a 911 call from her mother who was at the apartment complex office stating that her son had just stabbed her. Deputies respond within 9 minutes. They're on scene. They meet with the mom and see that she suffered a laceration to her hand. The deputies go to the apartment where presumably he's located. As they're walking and approaching the stairs, they see him. Our suspect sees the deputies and flees inside the apartment. They give chase and go inside the apartment as well. They begin giving commands for him to drop the weapon. Being in fear for their life, two of the deputies involved in this incident were K-9 deputies. One actually had his K-9 with him. He deploys the K-9. The three deputies are still in fear for their life and are forced to fire their service weapons and striking our suspect, who succumbed here at the scene to his injuries and has deceased. Our deceased's name is Romello Barnes. He's a black male and he's 22 years of age. His criminal history involves 2 misdemeanors, and they're not from Florida. They're from outside Florida, from what we can tell. We don't believe that he has any type of criminal history from what we know. Again, extremely preliminary. The family's only been in Florida for right around a year time. Our call history here at the apartment involving these 2 individuals over the past year, 2019, is 3 mental health calls for service, 3 domestic violent calls for service, and 2 sexual offenses. I don't have a lot of details on each of these cases. I do know from what we can tell, the individual today has not been Baker acted by our deputies over the past year. The most recent call was December 2nd. There was a mental health call where the mom called 911 saying that her son had some mental health issues, and the deputy updated his call for service that the suspect the suspect in our case, her son, didn't meet the threshold for a Baker Act at that time. Our 3 deputies involved, 2 of them are extremely seasoned deputies. K-9 deputy Matthew Moyer, he started in July of 2004. K-9 deputy Michael Guerra started in December of 1999. And Deputy Jamar Morales, and he's been employed since January of 2019. None of them have a prior use of deadly force. At this time, again, I'll open it up for questions. Just understand, as you can see the scene, we're currently processing the scene. We're waiting for a search warrant to go inside and uncover a lot of questions that we have just as well as you have. But I'll certainly make any effort to answer any questions I can.
When you said they were in fear for their lives, can you tell us in particular what the suspect did to make them feel in fear?
And I don't know that with complete confidence. I know they gave him several orders to drop the weapon. I don't know if they were going towards them. I don't know if it's because of proximity. You can see the stairs and the inside of the apartment. There's not a lot of room to operate. And I know you asked about why not use a taser. There was simply no time. Again, look at the proximity. This is unfolding by the second. I don't think any of them had time to even think about deploying a taser. Science tells us within a close proximity in time, it's just not going to be effective. He was. We believe it was a knife. Again, we're not going to be able to confirm that with 100% confidence until we get the search warrant signed and go in and then recover the knife.
Was that knife the same one that was used to attack his mom?
And again, we don't know that well. Great question. Just don't know that yet. We're hoping that the search warrant will give us those details, and we certainly will get that out as quick as possible. Like I said, the reason for the delay is the mom's at the hospital, and we had to inform her that her son had passed away.
Are you familiar with how things played out at the scene? Because it appears that you had technicians on the stairs, and then there were also cones here. Did he make his way out here onto the sidewalk? Is that what happened?
We're still trying to figure that out. We know there's a trail of blood, and we're trying to figure that out. Like I said, when the deputies went into the apartment and went in, they didn't know if anyone else was inside. Were they protecting someone else's life? Was there someone else who was going to be be in fear for their life by being in harm's way? They didn't know that. This thing unfolded by the second. So, again, I just don't have those answers now. I don't want to say anything unless I know with 100% certainty.
Do we know how many rounds were fired?
Don't know that right now either. Just don't know. We just know that 3 deputies deployed their service weapons.
Are the cones for the shell casings or are the cones for along the line of the trail of fire?
It could be for both. Most likely the cones are for the shell casings, to protect the integrity of the shell casings.
Where was the mother when they arrived on scene?
She was at the office. They first made contact with her at the office. She explained to the deputies what happened. She felt that her son was still at the house, still armed, which obviously when the deputies arrived, he was.
Do you know if he made that? She made that 911 call from the office or the apartment?
She made the 911 call from the office. Deputies met her in the office. Like I said, she was scared. She had just been stabbed by her son. She fled to the office and called 911.
Last question.
You said, Sheriff, that the canine, one of the deputies deployed the canine first.
Correct.
And was the canine just not effective in terms of finding?
And I still need to find that out. I know that from what we're being told, these are preliminary details. The K-9 was deployed. They still felt that they were in fear for their life, and not only their life, but the K-9's life too, so they had to deploy deadly force.
Sheriff.
Thank you. And we'll get updates out as quick as we can.
And we've just learned some brand new information on that deputy-involved shooting in Hillsborough County. The Sheriff's Office just telling us moments ago they received a 911 call this morning, a woman stating that her son had stabbed her at River Point Apartments on Hidden River Drive in Hillsborough County. Sheriff Chad Chronister says 22-year-old Romello Barnes ran away from deputies, so they released a K-9 after him. The deputies then fired multiple shots at Barnes because he refused to drop the weapon, believed to be a knife, and ignored several law enforcement commands, according to Sheriff Chronister. The sheriff says putting responding deputies in fear for their life. Much more developing information coming from the scene this afternoon. We do have a reporter in the field gathering the latest information. We will keep you updated right here, both on air and online, and right here at ABC Action News, streaming now.